What's up, bitches? Welcome back to the Avarice podcast. Jumping right into it, doing another movie commentary track today. I'll be watching the film Very Bad Things, which was filmed in released in 1998, starring Jon Favreau, Christian Slater, Jeremy Piven. It's a classic. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. We're kind of getting into that domain again on the last couple one. Pump up the volume on my last commentary. This one, Very Bad Things. I'm not totally turning my back on the horror genre or anything. I just felt like changing it up a bit, doing a couple of one-offs, not getting so deep into franchises. And then also, these are just a couple of more off-the-wall movies that I feel probably resonate with me maybe a little bit more than most people. Or that's not what I meant to say. They're not as common or as popular or as well known as kind of what I started with Halloween, Scream, things of that sort. But again, Very Bad Things. You may have seen it, you may not. I honestly don't know what the cult following of Very Bad Things is. So I am starting my coffee right now, if you can hear it in the background. For those of you that don't know or haven't listened before, I start off the podcast by making a cup of coffee and my Keurig right here. I'm going to sit down on the couch. I'm going to load my bong. I'm going to take a hit off of it. I'll give you a countdown, and then we will start watching the movie. I'll have it up so that you'll be able to slightly hear it in the background, but not enough to where I'm going to be able to get a copyright claim. So it's not a substitute for watching the film in any way. So you can listen to the audio only, and you'll be able to catch parts of it and still listen to me talk, because it is a podcast. I try not to leave large gaps where I'm not talking. But it is better if you have the movie and you watch it and just mute the movie and then listen to me over it, so that you can get more of an idea of what I'm talking about. Because I'm not always going to be able to set the scene descriptively as well as comment on it, because that would take too much time. Sometimes I'm just firing off comments, or a character will say something and I'll say something as if I'm responding back to them. It's a process. I'm learning it. But nonetheless, yes, you will. I'll give you a countdown to start the movie, and you should be able to partially hear it in the background. So I'm hoping that, like, when I do little verbal plays and stuff like that, you can hear it enough to where it makes sense. Because a punchline's no good if you can't hear the setup, right? So my coffee's done. I'm waddling my ass over here to my coffee table. Shit, I've got the radio on. That's not good. No, that's not good. That's from Nothing But Trouble, which is a movie, I believe, from the late 80s with Chevy Chase and Demi Moore in it. Dan Aykroyd, John Candy. That's another good one. I'm going to have to get that movie so that I can... Again, that's probably been done a shitload of times, though. That's part of the issue I'm struggling with, is I want to get into this and kind of carve out my little space. But there's a lot of people who are into this and carving out their little space. So trying to stand out from the crowd when there's a ton of reviews on the same subjects can be a bit challenging. So I'm trying to, that's maybe more why I've branched off in the last couple, and I'm trying to get maybe a little bit more obscure with my choices, dig a little bit deeper into the well, find stuff that every Tom, Dick, and Harry hasn't done a review on. At least that's my hope. And maybe movies that don't have as much meaning pop culture wise, but resonated with me very deeply, or movies that I constantly go back to and watch in my life that I pulled something from. This one isn't so much that. This is just a fucked up, crazy movie. If you haven't seen Very Bad Things before, I highly recommend it, because it starts off pleasant and benign enough, and it's just a snowball rolling downhill, and one thing happens wrong, and then another thing happens wrong, and it's just a domino effect, and it's just this cataclysm that destroys lives. I won't get too detailed into it before we start it. I've gone ahead and loaded my bowl here, so if you're going to smoke along with me, feel free to do so now. Sorry about that. A little bit of coughing has to be expected. I could pause the recording or edit that out, but that's not my style. I just let it flow. I just let it go. Let the good times roll. But I don't drink the pale ale, Stifler. Okay, so I'm switching over to my PlayStation 4 now. Getting the movie ready to go. What's the deal here? Okay. So I will count down from 3, and then when I say play is when I'm pressing play. So 3, 2, 1, play. Starts off with piano chords. Again, seems pleasant enough, just like the movie, and then turns into garbled mess. One of the major reasons that this movie stands out in my memory so much, I think, is, again, a lot of it has to do with a generational thing. Like I've referenced in a bunch of my other commentaries, I feel that movies from your youth stick with you more than movies when you're older. A certain point in your youth, anyway. You may have noticed almost all the movies I've done reviews on are from the 90s. It's just, I don't know, it's just the wheelhouse, it was, maybe I hadn't been jaded by seeing so many movies that I still was more open to ideas. But this movie stood out to me because it's the first movie I remember where it was surprising me. I didn't see stuff coming. Because in most movies, you have one major problem that they're dealing with. Usually happens, 20 minutes into the movie, and they spend the entire movie trying to solve it, and then with like 10 minutes to go in the movie, they solve that one problem. It's all wrapped up in a nice pretty bow, and then you're sent home on your way, and you've got your little story. But this movie gives you a problem, and then in the process of solving that problem gives you another problem, and then another problem, and then another problem, and then another problem, and you're just like, oh my fucking god, this is chaos. And it's amazing. Keeps you on your toes mentally. You have to, your mental agility. Anyway, I'm not addressing the movie. This, Cameron Diaz, Jon Favreau are engaged. They're standing in line right now, I believe, to get their marriage license. And she is needy as a motherfucker, and he's a fucking doormat. That's the relationship, basically, that we're establishing. She's picking at him and nagging at him, and then he finally stands up for himself just a little bit, and then she's, no, there's no problem. No, there's nothing. But she's cute. I mean, I've never thought Cameron Diaz was supermodel attractive. She's not in my spank bank. She's not on the top of my list. But that's neither here nor there. She's cute enough to fit this role in the movie. But the reason I say that is because she's got this power over him. Like, she feels like she has, my buddy calls it the hand. They're not equally yoked in the relationship. He's got more at stake. He's the one who's more vulnerable. And she plays on that by constantly playing the games. Do you love me? And she's insecure and needy and overbearing. This is Christian Slater's character. Big change from Pump Up the Volume. He's a real estate agent, kind of a shady guy, and a major dickhead. He's not allowing the potential buyers to go on to the property until he's off the phone. And he just set up the stripper. I think he said $900 to strip for 5 guys. Sounds like fucking good money in 1998. So now his wife is picking at him about who he's friends with. That shit, you can't put up with that shit, fellas. She can't remake who you are. It's supposed to be a mesh of who you guys are together. You might make minor compromises, but friends that you've had since the 3rd grade, that's not a compromise. That's cutting off a limb. And she's guilt-tripping him about his fucking bachelor party now. So many red flags. He should not be marrying this chick. She's like OCD and... oh my god, the ego. I'd have walked out of there and be like, you can yell at the clerk. I'm not gonna sit here and be your fucking doormat that you just walk all over. Oh, now this shit. See, she pushes him away, but she's got to reel him back in. So now she's got to play this role. And do you love me? And then it brings them Black Coast together. She makes him say that he loves her. Here's Jeremy Piven. Works with Jon Favreau. He hadn't, whatever wig or hair transplant or whatever the fuck he's got now, he didn't have it yet then. Homeboy fucked a 2-car garage. He's got a bay door going up on that. He's got like no hair up top. Jeremy Piven's one of my favorite actors. I loved him as Ari Gold in Entourage. He is that character. Like, the way that he played Ari Gold, you can't separate the two. You can't imagine anybody else ever having played that role. He was the perfect, clever dickhead with the right catchphrases and the right swagger about him. That's because you're considering the fact that you're marrying the wrong woman and you're going to be resigned to a bitch for the rest of your life. She's going to treat you like a fucking little bitch the entire marriage. Daniel Stern's in this. So Jeremy Piven and Daniel Stern are brothers, even though they look nothing alike. I guess that happens sometimes. One of them's short and bald, the other one's tall and has a full head of curly hair. They have different shaped bodies. One's kind of stocky, one's real slender. There's several times in the movie where she calls to bitch him out about this stuff, or he checks in with her, and she's just sitting at home, but she's nagging him to do all this stuff. He's currently at work. Does she do... I don't think she does anything for a living. Why can't she call about the fucking chairs? This is the needy thing. She can't even handle this on her own. Or she's just totally playing him, and she knows that if she plays this game with him, he'll do everything for her, and she can do nothing. But I would be like, do you understand that I'm at work right now? You can call about the fucking chairs. The son is wearing a Marilyn Manson t-shirt that is 3 sizes too big. If that's not representative of the fashion in the late 90s, I don't know what is. And this girl filming is Daniel Stern's wife, and she's pretty bitchy. She's kind of got a right to be, though. If you look at... She's got a handicapped son, another one who listens to Marilyn Manson. It's probably a rough life. There's 2 chain smokers, and it's a 5-hour drive to Las Vegas. They're definitely smoking in the car. They were just smoking when they got in. They're definitely smoking in your car. You're not going to control that one. I'm not exactly sure where they live. It looks like maybe Arizona or Southern California, but they're driving to LA. And I think along the way he references that it takes them like 4.5 hours or something. This conversation between these friends here is representative of how when you get a group of close friends together that are guys, they just bullshit and pick at each other, but it's all in good fun. Usually the guy who can't take it is a little whiny bitch. Like, we're all joking here. Except for the brothers. The brothers actually have a rivalry. They're not kidding. And this is foreshadowing for later on in the film. These two just butt heads constantly. He's using a fucking car phone where you have to pay by the minute. It was a rough life. Nowadays, you would just call on your cell phone and it wouldn't make a bit of difference. Christian Slater's the cool guy, and he's probably knows more about psychology than in playing mental games than any of the other gentlemen here in the car. And he knows how to do power plays very well. So he saw an opportunity there. The argument between Daniel Stern and Jon Favreau about the phone, he could just offer, just use my phone. You know, I'll be the cool guy. I'll resolve the situation. I don't give a fuck. Minutes are nothing to me. He's just, it's a type of person that does that. And now he's badgering Daniel Stern about how slow he's driving. It's kind of pulling an alpha thing, but he's also, he fucks with him subtly. He knows how to do that very well. And the whole reason Jon Favreau was on the phone was to call about the fucking pads on the chairs that Cameron Diaz should have been doing herself. You guys look like you think you're dressed up, but you don't look that nice. You just look like you're wearing suit jackets from Goodwill. I mean, I know they were brand new right at this moment, and if you found them in Goodwill today, they'd be 20 years old. But you guys look like you're going to church or something. You don't look like you're... If I was going out in Vegas for a bachelor party, I would dress to the nines. Ooh, big money! Maybe I'm weird, but the kind of shit that she's doing right here with the little model chairs and tables and rearranging where everybody's sitting, I find that shit creepy. I guess it's proper planning and it's a good idea, but there's kind of a little there's a psycho element to it, like no, I'm making miniature models of the chairs that I've called and bitched you out about when I should have been making the phone call. Instead, I'm making miniature models of unpadded chairs. Now shit's getting real. They're up in the hotel room. They've got the UFC on. This is pre-Zuffa UFC. This is old school UFC. The coke's out. The booze is out. They were already drinking before. The weed's out. They're talking politics and life. Jeremy Piven looks like he's not handling that coke very well. Looked like it went right to the dome. And the guy with the glasses, I forget his fucking name. He is about to misrepresent weed in such a major way. I guess they're drinking, doing coke, and smoking weed. But he takes that huge rip of weed and then he smashes the coffee table. And it's like, come on, man. Smoking weed doesn't make you want to smash a coffee table. I'm not going to do it. Do not eyeball your kids. Oh, a bunch of profound douchebags coming out. They're drunk. That's alcohol and dialogue. What a great combination. He's talking about Jews and Mexicans looking alike. Christian Slater is. And then Daniel Stern's in the other room talking to Jon Favreau about how to be a dad. Yeah, see, he took the bong hit, but then he immediately did a line of coke. What are you even doing to your body at that point? Because isn't the weed bringing you back down and the coke's shooting you back up? Like, I don't... What are you trying to accomplish? Are you just trying to get as fucked up as you possibly... I guess that's what he's doing, because he definitely doesn't have a certain goal in mind. He doesn't, like, either want to be energized or want to be sedated. He's going for both simultaneously, except for the coke is going to shoot you up way higher than the weed is going to bring you back down. It's like putting one of those drag racing car, those little tiny parachutes they use to stop. It's like installing one of those on the back of the space shuttle. It's going to slow you down marginally, but that bitch is going to the moon. That coke is sending you to the fucking moon. That's actually a valuable speech that he's given right here. Basically what he's saying is, pause, pause, pause. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So if you were watching along with me, you should have paused when I yelled out pause. I guess I didn't really make that clear. I am paused at 14 minutes and 36 seconds in. If you've listened to previous ones, you know that, like, you know, about, I'd say, a third of the time, my son comes out and interrupts me for a various reason, and that's what just happened now. So I apologize, and I will resume the film in 3, 2, 1, play. So we're at 14:37, and the stripper just showed up. And Daniel Stern said, excellent. And that's actually Kobe Tai. She was a famous porn star back in the Dizay. That's an intimidating situation. She's like a 90-pound Asian girl. And these are 5 juiced up dudes privately in a hotel room in Vegas. Like, this is not the safest situation for her. I know it. Apparently she knows Christian Slater's character Boyd well, and he vouched for his friends, and so maybe that's what makes her feel this veil of safety. But god damn, I would have just, I guess she's used to it too, but I feel like that would be the most intimidating, uncomfortable situation for her to be in. You've just got all these 5 dudes. They're on coke, they're drunk, they're on weed. You're stripping for them, getting them all boned up and horny. And that's a hard enough thing to control, but you're right there, and you're tiny, and there's nobody to really stop them except for their other friends, and they're all fucked up too. It's a sticky situation. There could be some fuckery afoot. She just took her top off. She's rubbing her tits in Jon Favreau's face. He's the bachelor. And Christian Slater's character, Boyd, just told him that he can have anything he wants and he'll pay for it. So Christian Slater would pay for sex with the stripper if Jon Favreau was so inclined. But he declines. And now he's looking at it like he really... It's like a really nice car at the dealership you want to buy, but you know that you just really can't afford it, or your wife's going to kill you. So you watch it as you drive away, and you wring your hands out. Jeremy Piven can't control himself, though. So he decides that he's going to pick up Kobe Tai and run with her under his arm into the bedroom, or into the bathroom. He's also mistakenly under the impression that Christian Slater's character is going to pay for this sex, and that is not the case. There's Big Daddy Gary Goodridge. So now they're in the bathroom, and he's going to have this awkward interaction with her. Like, now they're making small talk. And the other dudes are out in the living room freaking out about it, like, oh my god, can you believe? Holy shit! Holy shit! And they're wrestling around, reenacting the UFC. See, I don't know if Dana White and Zuffa would have allowed the UFC to be in this scene in this movie, because it's not great marketing. If you look at what these guys are doing and how they're behaving, and with the backdrop being the UFC taking place on the TV, and the imagery and the two of them coinciding. You don't really want these two images married together. In my opinion, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't feel like that's something that Zuffa would have been into. This is kind of interesting to examine because Jeremy Piven is getting to do this scene with a girl that's actually a porn star. He could have watched her fuck before this. They're gonna have some decent sex, and he better, because she told him it cost $1,000. And there's fighting on the TV. There's this kind of erotic wrestling match going on in the bathroom, and then there's this literal wrestling match going on in the living room between the remainder of the friends. And now homeboy is gonna lose his fucking mind and jump through the table at the exact same time that she gets her head stabbed into that hook. And that's the oh shit moment. From the beginning to this point, this has felt like a pretty normal movie. You've had elements that you're very familiar with. And then he dives through that glass table at the same time she gets her head stabbed into the towel rod. I think that's, or towel hook. And now it's like a shock to your system. You're like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? What did I buy a ticket to here? What is this thrill ride gonna be? Pleasant surprise for me. I didn't expect this to be a fucking murder thriller. Especially when I saw the cast. Bloody toga party. His girlfriend just got her period at the toga party. No, I'm playing. He's wearing a bloody bathrobe. Yes, you did fuck up. Very sobering moment. Because now they all have to go in and see her hanging off the wall with a towel hook in her head. Her platform boots were... Oh, man, fuck. I just thought about if that had really happened. The way she fell, her knees would have smashed into that tile floor. That would have hurt so bad. It's a good thing she's a girl that's comfortable with having her asshole seen, because even though we can't see it on the camera, you know that it's just showing to everybody. Christian Slater's processing it. See, when shit gets real, you get a glimpse into the different elements of everybody's personality. Who's the do-gooder? Who's trying to solve the problem for self-preservation? Who's a sheep that just goes along? Who's afraid? Who's confident? All that's working in. And Boyd, the psychology, the power trips, the leadership, it's all going to come into effect right here. Of course, the main character being Jon Favreau is who you're meant to identify with most. Most people are meant to identify with the struggles and the decisions of Jon Favreau. Personality traits even. Unfortunately, I feel more like I'm the Christian Slater character, I have to say. It's a slightly disappointing realization, but I feel like I am more the Christian Slater character than I am the Jon Favreau character. And that's just a self-preservation issue. I think that I would rather not have to get caught in this scene than let somebody else be in charge of my fate. You never know how that's gonna go with court or juries or any of that fucking shit. And the dead prostitute's not the only concern. They would have to get rid of all the drugs. At this point in Las Vegas, I think weed's legal now in Vegas, but back then, because gambling and the prostitution and all that was legal, they really cracked down on drugs. I think you got like 20 years in jail for one joint in Las Vegas back then. The prostitution's not even illegal. Just the dead body and the drugs is the problem. Maybe the biggest hole in the story, though, is the fact that she came there by herself. I've never been in a situation like this with a private dancer coming to a bachelor party. I've never even been to a bachelor party. I've never seen a stripper outside of a strip club. But I think as a general rule, they bring a friend or a bodyguard or a pimp, or at least tell somebody where they're going to be. So the idea that you could just disappear her and there's not going to be anybody with a coat tag waiting to see where I think that that's a little bit of a hole in the writing, and I actually just realized it recently. I'd watched the movie a bunch of times without picking that up. Most likely, though, she would have had some big dude, bodyguard type, outside the door, in the lobby, something similar to that, to ensure that she arrived and exited safely and got paid what she was owed. Because she's a little 90-pound girl. She's not going to be able to accomplish much in the physical intimidation realm. And they're there in case of a scenario like this, in case she gets murdered and it needs reported. I was talking over their discussion. You have Daniel Stern's character that wants to call the cops, and basically everybody's on his side. Christian Slater presents the idea that they cut her up and bury her in the desert because nobody knows she's there but him. And they're not, and then they'll all just wash their hands of it. And he has sold everybody on the idea. They just held a vote, and they're going to dump her in the desert. See the speaking ability, the leadership qualities. This is what I'm talking about. Daniel Stern asked him if he'd done this before. He does. He seemed way too familiar with this plan, an idea, like he's thought about it before at least. There's no way she's 105 pounds. I guess you're just going with the script and they cast who they cast, but there's no way that she's 105 pounds. I'm not buying it.
That line exists, and I see it. I see that line.
It's an outside-the-box plan. It's of course a question of morality, but it's also a self-preservation issue. And now, see the Annie, remember I told you how it seems like it's just one problem they're going to have to deal with? It seems like once she dies, that's the problem. We're not going to have more problems. But now we've got a hotel security guard mixing himself in. Shut your fucking face. Oh God, the bathroom door opened. Why are you taking your rope? It's all bloody. That makes sense. So they think they're just going to be quiet until he goes away. But Homeboy has a master key. He's about to let himself in. And then you got a big problem on your hands. Oh, it's so good. Oh, the tension. Like, it just... You're anxious for the resolution, and it doesn't come. You just get more problems. Kind of like real life. That's a big dude. See, she would have had a guy like him. Obviously, that doesn't work for the hotel, but with her, that would have come looking for her when she died. And they might have gotten themselves out of it if the table wasn't broken. But he walks around to look at the table. And now while he's squatted down, he's going to turn around, stand up, and he's going to see the fucking dead girl in the bathroom. And now they have a much bigger problem to deal with. even here they think they're out of it. Christian Slater just passed him a $100 bill. They're walking him out. But he's going to catch a glimpse of her laying on the floor through this mirror. Bam. And again, Christian Slater thinking quick on his feet. The morality of the issue, I'll leave that up to you, but he makes a quick decision and acts, and it's effective. He does such a great job with this character. He's so believable as this sinister dickhead. But he's also got this like self-empowerment, fake leadership quality to him, but it's effective. But you wonder if you could maybe rattle him a bit and get it to shatter. I never realized how many of my favorite movies Christian Slater was in. To this point, too. I'd have to think more on it to see if he's in more, but these are two of my legitimate favorite movies, Pump Up the Volume and Very Bad Things. And he is oh shit, perhaps the defining character in this one, and definitely the defining character in Pump Up the Volume. Can you stab someone with a corkscrew like that? Would that work if... I think it would bend. I don't know if... Are they that strong? They're pretty strong. God, that's a tough one. And now they barricade him in the bathroom after he's been stabbed in the heart with the corkscrew. And the mess that he creates... They had a small blood spot on the ground from Homegirl's head. This dude is like a football player-sized guy that's stabbed in the heart, and he's trying to shoulder block the door open, and he's freaking out on the interior of the bathroom. So it looks like somebody took a chainsaw, and it looks like the Dexter scene where he wakes up and he's in the storage container full of blood. It's almost that bad. This just upped the ante tenfold. The cleanup, the risk, the crime. Before, they probably could have got away with it pretty easily. I mean, I don't mean got away with it. He was having sex with her, and he accidentally slammed her head into the thing. He's probably going to have to do some time for that, but the rest of them, you don't really... Do you have to even concede to the fact she's a stripper? Prostitution's legal there. I'm not... But now you straight up murdered that guy. There was nothing accidental about that. He didn't make as big of a mess as I thought he did. In my head, I was picturing it being much worse, but that's still fucking bad. You have to make that all clean in a night.
Not so much of a new plan as modification on the old. Go to police. So help me God.
Most
That fucking phone, I'll bury you. Surrender is no longer an option.
say, yeah, I agree. Once you've gotten to this point, surrender is not an option. So you're either on my side or you can be buried with these guys. This speech, god damn. Christian Slater is solid at delivering monologues. Just him on camera alone speaking, he's great at it. This is gut check time. It's one of those, if you've ever seen The Sopranos, there's the scene where it's in the last season, and the war is going down between New York and Jersey, and Tony is legitimately scared that he's going to get whacked and that his family's in danger. It's actually after Bobby gets killed. Tony goes upstairs and tells AJ, Bobby was killed. You got to pack your shit. We're getting the fuck out of here. And AJ says, but what do you mean got killed? This is really depressing for me right now. I just don't know if I can handle this. And Tony picks him up off the bed and throws him on the floor and says, you don't have time to fucking be depressed. And that's like, seriously, you're gonna sit here and be depressed and die, or are you gonna get your ass moving? Gut check time, buddy. And that's what they're going through here. It's a matter of survival at this point. So what are you willing to do when it's your life on the line? At least that's the way it's kind of presented, and that Christian Slater's playing it off. I'm making it sound like I'm a psycho. We'll just go with it. I'm half playing a character. At least when I'm talking about what I would be doing here. I can't guarantee that that's how I would feel in the situation. But what Christian Slater says resonates to me. I gotta be honest. For a short period of time, I had a janitorial business, and making that bathroom that clean would have been fucking difficult. It would have taken hours, if you could even accomplish it. Brilliant plan with the suitcase, though. That actually just happened recently in real life. I don't remember the details of a story, but a guy showed up, I think, at an airport, and they took him into a back room, killed him, cut him up, Dexter style, and then put him in suitcases and carried him back out. They had his head in like a bowling ball bag. Shit's nuts. This always reminds me of the Casino scene, I think it's the opening scene in Casino, where Joe Pesci's talking about a lot of problems being buried out in the desert. Problem is, you take somebody out there, you gotta already have the hole dug, because you could spend 3-4 hours digging a hole, and then you never know who the fuck's coming by. You could spend all night digging holes. I guess you need to be able to see what you're doing, but you're in a pitch black desert, and you've got headlights and a flashlight on. You're creating a glow that's going to emanate for miles. People are going to be able to see you out there from a long ways away, unless you're in a canyon of some kind or surrounded by, I guess, they're kind of around rocks. Now Daniel Stern's going to have this Jewish epiphany. So his revelation is that according to Jewish law, you can't mix the body parts when you bury them. They have to be a whole.
The blood and the limbs are considered to be a sacred part of the human spirit. The body has to be united.
Yeah, the body has to be united, or the soul can't rest in peace. You could believe in that if you want to. I don't believe in shit like that. They're dead. That was a vessel. Whatever was there that made them is gone. It's literally a broken down car at this point. And you've chopped it up. It's a chopped up, broken down car. In the natural way, the earth would, in theory, consume the body, right? That's the natural way. That's what happens in nature. Stuff just disintegrates. The bones, whatever's left, disintegrates into the earth, and that's the cycle of life. So does it really fucking matter if the thigh and the arm from him or with her? I've got his upper leg and her lower leg. In a way, this is also kind of a dark comedy, because it has scenes like that. Homeboy's about to lose his shit right here, and it's pretty funny to me. Because it's got this slapstick element to it, even though it's a pretty serious moment. They do a great job of playing around with it. I have his upper leg and her lower leg. He finally is cracking. The reality of the situation is hitting him. They have killed 2 people, and he is now holding a severed femur and a severed shin in his hand from 2 different people. He's crying, holding bloody clothes now. This has a horrible effect on all of them mentally, except for Christian Slater, because he's a sociopath. I don't think that I would be able to live with this as well as he does. He seems fine. He's the only one that seems fine. Now they're reunited. The Chinese Jewish girl and the black Jewish guy can be buried and the spirit can rest in peace. Now you're putting them back in suitcases? You fucking idiots. You just wasted so much time. I'd have told you to go fuck yourself.
Allow me to be the first to say
Bury all of them in one hole and then your problem solved.
it's clearly not a
That's what she said. He's like a coach. He motivates them. He gives them the summation speech and kind of brings them down and gets their mindset the way he wants it to be, heading home.
every one of us.
It's interesting.
We performed under the most complex and nerve-shattering of situations.
Chevy Astro van
Each one of us
covered in
went
dirt.
fast and we all delivered.
At this point, they're glad they didn't dress nicer. I would have been pissed. I wore my fancy clothes and we committed 2 murders and buried the bodies in the desert. Fuck you guys.
Hypocrites.
My wife's gonna ask why my nicest suit is ruined when I get home. Oh, sorry, babe. I spilt mustard on it.
We are alive, and they are not.
Took it to the dry cleaners and they ruined it.
The two wrongs don't make a right, so our conviction.
Just take it to a fluff and stuff.
More
That's you mean fluff and fold, baby. Fluff and stuff is like a handjob parlor where they allow you to have sex too. I think. Sounds like it.
bullshit. You are all fucked up in the head. All right. Personal strength has nothing to do.
That's a bit of a glimpse. So, I forget the guy with the glasses' name. I don't know his character's name or his real name. But he just went off on Boyd telling him that ever since he got on his self-help bullshit, he's fucked in the head. And that's kind of, when he speaks, you get a tinge of that. Like, he's almost repeating what he's heard before, but he's delivering it with great confidence, and it's believable. And he is the man with the plan. You want you to be a person that is able to thrive in any situation. At least I think that's the way to be the most effective. You don't want to get too attached to any one element of your life. You just want to be of the character where you could be put in any situation and you know that you'll be able to get through it. So this is a heinous situation, but he's come up with a plan, he's executing it, and he's getting through it. So it is a solid mindset, I guess.
The hell I don't have acquaintances, business friends, superficial golf buddies.
But this
Don't point at me.
this butting of heads between the brothers
Deal with me.
becomes a major problem later in the movie.
This is the perfect time. This is real time. We're in the moment. Adam, your brother, yourself, as well as several others present, always felt that you were fully repressed, living in major denial.
Flat down fly boy.
Fire in the hole, big guy.
They just shot some truth at him. That would be an awkward moment. You just went through this moment that should have bonded you and galvanized your relationship, and instead you're all picking at each other, and then you find out that everybody thinks that you're a lockdown flyboy. Jon Favreau, of course, is the main character, so we get more of a glimpse into his mindset during the process, and he has to show the remorse in order for us to follow, or at least for most audience members to be able to follow along. If you were trying to play off Christian Slater as the antagonist in the story, you might lose a lot of people. So Jon Favreau is more in the middle. So they went to Vegas. They've been up all night. They did not have a great time. At least not for the last 12 hours of it. Now they have to drive back. Take the car to a car wash. I guess they wash their clothes. I don't know what they do with their fucked up clothes. And go home to face the day. Having been up for who knows how many hours straight. Drinking, doing coke, digging holes in the desert, cleaning bathrooms. I can't even comprehend how exhausted they must be. So from this point, we've done some crazy shit. We've had some problems. But it seems to be now correcting course and going along a path of something we've seen before. If that makes sense. As an audience member, the first time you're seeing this, you're like, okay, I wasn't expecting the second murder. But then it happened, and then they went about it in this crazy way, but there weren't really many issues along that. Now they're going to be heading home. It's probably going to turn into some kind of a police investigation or something to that effect. That's just what you're guessing. That's what I was guessing as an audience member. I was like, okay, they cleaned that up. There's not going to be any more major surprises, but they're going to have to do some... I really thought it was going to be like a police investigation movie. Or somebody from the family was going to come looking for them, or along those storylines. Shit like burying a body is a lot easier in the moment. I've never done it. I mean, but I would imagine that burying a body is a lot easier in the moment, and then afterwards, when you have a chance to really let it sink in, it could fuck with you. Because Daniel Stern's now wondering, as a father, do you think that guy had kids and he was just doing his job? He just came up to check on a noise complaint, and now he's dead, and now those kids don't have a dad because of what we did, just fucking around. We didn't kill him in the name of anything. We just killed him. It was basically the five of them surviving over him was the reason that he died. And it wasn't even a matter of survival per se for them. They would have gone to jail most likely. I keep referring to this in terms of survival. I don't look at prison as a form of surviving. That may sound off-kilter to people, but prison sounds like the last thing on earth I would ever want to do. So I don't know what lengths I would go to keep myself out of prison. So when I refer to it as it being a survival situation for them, I'm referring to going to prison being the same as death in this scenario. I know it's not, but in my mind, it's so fucking close it might as well be.
This looks like it hurts. It does. Does it hurt?
Yeah. Poor Jeremy Piven's getting strangled by his tuxedo shirt.
It's theirs. Okay, well, this is just totally unacceptable.
I would hate to be in charge of the fitting and the tailoring for her wedding, because you know she's going to nitpick everything. Oh, he does have kids. Daniel Stern's going to lose his fucking mind. And he's blaming it on the little brother because he killed the girl while having sex. He's the only one that really directs the blame solely on Jeremy Piven in that way. And they're brothers. They got a lot of background shit to deal with there. Boyd's right. He's keeping his cool. He's looking at the situation accurately. They're allowing their paranoia to affect their judgment. It's just an article in a newspaper. A guy's missing. Nobody's knocking at your door. It doesn't mention anything about 5 guys, a party, nothing. It just mentions he's missing. They were never a solid enough group to be able to pull this off, though. They're too divided. That orb is cracked and severed. Severed. I'm severed. Now Boyd just beat the shit out of his own face with a sledgehammer. Not his real face. His face on a real estate sign. Kids can get that way. And then when they're not making a bunch of noise with their mouth, they're using some kind of device that makes a whole bunch of noise. Yeah, they're behaving well. They deserve treats. That's how you handle that situation. You reinforce it. Keep screaming and you'll get Twizzlers at the next gas station. Here's that paranoia working fucking overtime on him. This is the longest 10 minutes of his life. He thinks everybody's staring him down. It's like when you're a teenager and you get stoned and you walk to the 7-Eleven and you can't even remember what you wanted to get there and you feel like everybody's staring at you. That's how he feels right now. It's like his first time being high and he thinks everybody knows. And then he's got the fucking kids screaming and pounding on the window. He doesn't, I bet he didn't even hear that guy speak. He did the douchebag, how do you like your minivan? Has anybody ever said that in real life to a stranger? How do you like your minivan? It's a fucking minivan. Do you think I like it? I don't like it at all. I have 3 kids and I got sick of my wife bitching about getting the car seat in and out of the car. Daniel Stern has perhaps the biggest conscience of the group of friends, so he seems to be the most disturbed by it and has the highest level of paranoia as a result. He can barely function in this environment right now. They call them whizzers, but I think that's a trademark issue. They're Twizzlers. Wait for my damn dog to come in the house. And he just knocked over a whole fucking display case because he's so nervous. This is the exact opposite of playing cool. Oh my god. He just knocked over like 100 2-liter bottles of soda. He's gotten to the point where the guy that works there is just shouting at him to get out of the store. And he didn't get the candy, so now he's going to have to listen to that bullshit. Oh, God. And he's doing the pissed off reckless driving. Oh! His wife just slammed her face into the dashboard because he stepped on the brakes so fast. The more these guys have to interact with each other, the more the pressure seems to build. There's an inevitability to the conflict between them. Or at least the fracturing of the group. There's just no way this can go on. The scene we're in now is Jon Favreau and Cameron Diaz's rehearsal dinner for their wedding. And Jon Favreau is trying to greet guests, and Daniel Stern just can't keep it together and is ragging on him, trying to talk to him. I'm so glad I didn't have to go through one of these embarrassing, cheesy-ass dinners. I don't know why people want to throw these. I don't know why people want to go to them. The same with weddings, for that matter. It just seems like a huge waste of money to me. Everybody presents it as if their wedding should be so important to everybody else. Like they're going to be this mega couple that is worth admiration. And they're doing all that on the front end. They're creating this big celebration. And literally half the time, the marriages don't even work out. So I would rather like to see an awesome marriage than an awesome wedding. I don't give a fuck about your wedding. Just be an awesome, like, everybody wants, it's that moment. They want to have that fucking moment, but you're going to spend $100,000 for that moment and then be in debt for that. That's going to cause friction in the relationship right off the bat. This huge event that has to be paid for. Just fuck it. Throw it away. It's unnecessary. It's an old tradition.
wonderful ride.
Daniel Stern was in there sweating like a junkie in church, and he just had to go outside. Christian Slater was eyeballing him from across the room like he wants to fucking strangle him. He knows he's the weak link.
Shut up for this is not what you work out in terms of self-management here, Adam. Come on.
You guys aren't looking conspicuous at all. This is totally normal. Nobody's going to ask questions about what's going on. He is so bad at playing it cool. You couldn't do anything with this guy. Oh. Get this guy on some pills. He needs Valium or something. I wouldn't normally say that, but this needs to be gotten under control. Again, for survival purposes. He's going to take you all down. Your initial crime that you decided to not report got compounded when you killed the second person, and then you buried them in the desert. He can't rat you guys out. This has got to stay locked down. We've now got friction, even more friction between Jon Favreau and Cameron Diaz because of this. It's ruining the dinner. Jeremy Piven's hair, man. Oh, see, now we have the climax of the brother rival, the sibling rivalry. Jeremy Piven just kicked his van. It's a stupid fucking Chevy Astro van, but at the time it looks like it was brand new. It was probably expensive. It's not what you would want to buy. It's good for what it is. It's just a fucking minivan. He's now shouting, Daniel's shouting at Jeremy Piven that he's a murderer in the middle of the parking lot. We can't have this. Get him under control. Grab that tie and jerk him into you and say, listen, motherfucker, shit can get real quick if you don't want to go along with the party. I think the brakes are going to fail on your car tomorrow. Just saying. Yes, you have children, you have a life. You're going, it's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're going to create the fucking problem you're worried about. You're not going with the flow at all. He just straight shoved her out of the way. You're not going to help this situation. Go back inside. Oh my God, he's calling him a murderer out loud. And Jeremy Piven's the hothead. You get the feeling he has a bit of a complex that he's always been fucked with by his older brother. Even when he was having sex with the girl and he takes his shirt off and he's not what you expected, right? Like, he's trying to show off, like he wants some positive reinforcement. It feels like he's been made to feel lesser his whole life by his brother. And Jeremy's gonna snap. I wish I knew the characters' names better because I keep calling them by their real life names, but I want you to know who I'm talking about. So Piven is now doing a U-turn and he's in ultra frustration mode. And he's squaring up with the minivan. Now the battle has switched to being over the minivan. And I don't know what kind of a rash decision this is. Like, he's just gonna crash into the minivan. Like, that's he's gonna total both of their cars. That's his solution. Oh, and Daniel Stern jumps in the way and he fucking hits him. See, this is what I mean. The ante just gets upped. You did not expect this to be what happened. He just killed his own brother. And they've got to try to explain this away now. How do you guys feel about movies like this where it keeps twisting and turning and shit keeps going wrong and the the rock keeps rolling farther down the hill instead of getting closer to the top? Do they frustrate you? Do they feel corny and unrealistic to you? I like them. I like that I'm not able to predict them as well, that they keep me guessing and that there's shock value in it. And so when you think that it's going one way and something new happens, you're like, shit, is it going this way now? I just don't like stuff that's straightforward and predictable. But my wife hates movies like this because she's like, it's so unrealistic. This stuff wouldn't all happen to one group of people. Yet she watches Grey's Anatomy. What are you going to do? The way that Scream was when it first came out and they kept you guessing, they did it in a different way because they were dealing in the genre of horror where there's a lot of cliches to play off of, but the way they did it kept you on your toes the whole time, and that's what I like. I like it when all of a sudden a key character gets murdered and you're not expecting it. Jeremy Piven's now, of course, supremely guilty over hitting his brother with the car. And Daniel Stern's giving his wife some kind of deathbed confession that none of them can hear. So now they're all worried that he spilled the beans to her before he died. And you want to talk about guilt. The weak link in the chain has now become Jeremy Piven. Because he just murdered his own brother. It was just such a dumb decision. And Christian Slater's still coming up with the plan. How do we proceed? How do we pick up the pieces? What else do you do, though? Do you just sit and wait for your day of judgment? I don't know. I've never been in a situation like this. Yeah, you killed your brother. That's probably the worst offense you've committed thus far. I guess he was party to the other murders and the burial, though, so he deserved to die more than the black security guard at the hotel. He's the most innocent person in the entire movie that's involved, right? He's the most innocent victim at this point. If any of these guys get it, they deserve it more than that security guard did, because he hadn't done anything wrong, at least to our knowledge in this narrative. But you got... See, now you got Jeremy Piven off the rails, and he's not the whiny, panicky, paranoid type like his brother was. He's like a rageaholic, maniac, freak the fuck out, do some nonsense type. He's more of a wild card. He's just like destructive as fuck. And now that his brother's gone and he's the weak link, the other three are uniting together to try to get him under control, as these four were united together to try to get Daniel Stern under control. It's like Lord of the Flies, or it's like Urban Survivor. Is that an old school Ford Taurus? Oh, pardon me. Excuse me, pardon me again.
I just want to get married. Exactly my point. What's your fucking point? I'm not talking to you more. What's your point?
Jon Favreau, man, when he was younger, he was in pretty good shape. What happened? He played Rocky Marciano. And then Christian Slater, I guess the cigarettes and the partying combined with the thinning hair. He's got a skinnier face. then he didn't pump up the volume. Like, he was like a heartthrob back then, and this is 8 years later. That is a decent amount of time, though. I don't take the best care of myself. I'll probably get aged like shit in the next 8 years, too.
This car is full of love. Trust me. Whatever it takes.
He's like a low-budget Tony Robbins, and his audience is only this group of friends. Oh, why are you kissing him? What the fuck? That's not what the moment called for.
Love does not lose.
Oh, God. Now there's wailing at the funeral. And it's Jeremy Piven. It sounds like a woman when you first hear it. You expect it to be his wife or something, but it's fucking Jeremy Piven. Excuse me. Back then, the quality of video was much lower, but when you really look at his hair on a big TV in HD, it looks like they painted his scalp and combed his hair forward too. It looks like he's actually much more bald than it looks. I heard a rumor that he used to double for George Costanza on Seinfeld because he was that bald, and I never believed it because of movies like this, but I guess they could have done some spray-on hair type shit. But why? Why can't he just be bald? Is it less believable that he's the little brother if he's bald? There's so much, like, superficial aspects and vanity involved with, like, the acting game. When they make you do something like that, you're a good enough actor, but your hair is a bit too thin, so we're going to have to paint that up or you're not going to be in our movie.
No way. We just talk it through? Talk what? Look it. We are locked and loaded here.
This poor son of a bitch, he's supposed to be getting ready for a wedding and he's dealing with all this drama with his group of friends.
Getting ready to come here to see us get married. Do you understand? I have a table full of presents out there.
It's an old-ass kitchen. Your kitchen needs a remodel.
Kyle, it's Lois. I was up at Adam's.
Oh.
It seems to be some sort of confession about some horrible thing he did.
So Daniel Stern's character wrote something down and left it in his office, and his wife found it, and it's some kind of a confession about a hooker in Las Vegas. So they're gonna have to talk to her about this and see the nervous energy and the pressure. You just feel it mount, and the walls are closing in on them. It's... You could almost say that this movie is an exercise in karma, right? So they start off, they're doing this party, they commit the crime, and then slowly but surely, they all get their due. They all get their quote-unquote justice. But they keep law enforcement completely out of it. You hardly ever see a movie like this where they're committing this many crimes and it's all that self-contained. There's no police interference, really. They're not dealing with detectives. Nobody's on their ass. It's just them trying to handle it within themselves, and they can't. And life bites them in the ass. Call it God, call it the universe, call it coincidence. But they all start off, and they have this act together, and then from then on, their arcs are down.
Just tell Lois nothing happened.
Shut up, Roy.
Except for her, she's collateral damage, along with the security guard and the prostitute / stripper, because she doesn't deserve any of what she gets. She's probably just as innocent as the black security guard. And she is hammering Jeremy Piven with questions. Christian Slater is reaching towards a kitchen knife as if to say, if you tell her, some shit's gonna go down right here. But it's so hard for him to not crack.
I will call the police.
See, she threatens the police, but they're not an integral part of the movie. Sweet vintage dare thing back there. Dare to keep kids off drugs. Funny thing is I know a bunch of kids who were only involved in dare because they didn't want to go to class. It had nothing to do with drugs to them in their mind. They didn't give a shit about keeping kids off drugs. They just didn't want to go to class. Which is the feeling I get about a lot of these, like, oh, Jon Favreau just came up with an epiphany. He's going to try to present an explanation. That's going to tear him down in her mind, but he's dead. So realistically, practically, effectively, this doesn't hurt anybody. At least it keeps his group of friends safe. Her life's already shattered. And Jeremy Piven is just torn up inside to have to tell her that lie. Yes, you're Adam. Ghost! 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 I tend to be more interested in movies and shows where the story and the plot is all exposed through interactions with the characters. I don't necessarily like big action scenes and shit like that. My favorite movies are a lot of dialogue or even monologues. No, I'm not talking heavy dialogue and monologue, but I prefer it to be driven in that fashion. I don't like a lot of bullshit and gimmicks. And when the acting really gets a chance to shine through. Boyd is looking at the wife as a loose end.
You got a real nasty side to your thought process.
Oh my god, so now the Daniel Stern's 2 kids and dog are at Jon Favreau's house, and Cameron Diaz is losing her fucking mind. As anybody who's in a long-term relationship or married knows, your girl would definitely lose her fucking mind if you brought this home. Mine would have a level of understanding much higher than this, but she would be frustrated by the matter, especially the barking ass dog. That wouldn't work at our house anyway. Our pit bull doesn't get along with other dogs very well. Did they actually play a high-pitched noise there when he first started talking about it? So Jon Favreau and Homeboy with the glasses are getting Jeremy Piven shit-faced. And Christian Slater is going to murder the wife. He feels like she's onto them. She knows too much. You're getting a bit risky, though, at that point, right? Because you have this quote-unquote accident where Daniel Stern gets hit by the car. Now she's just going to mysteriously die like a day later. I think the cops would be interested in that. The Wahoo.
That's exactly right. That's what I'm driving at. Man, burning at his absolute, all the forces coming together.
More drunk, profound talk, but the other two aren't as interested or as drunk, so they're just kind of annoyed.
I've been looking for that flash. I've been looking, and
Jon Favreau looks like he just wants to go to bed for a week. He just... It's so much to deal with. This guy doesn't talk much, the guy with the glasses. Why are you waking her up?
Just how much I can appreciate that person.
That's a little bit of a hole too. Boyd's character wouldn't have woke her up for, well, does he have such an ego that he would want to talk to her before he kills her? Oh, she just bit his nuts or his dick, or she's biting him in the general crotch area. Fuck me. That's creative. But if he had just come up and tried to smother her right off the bat, he probably would have had a higher success rate than waking her first.
I don't think that's a good idea.
You don't understand. I have respect for Fisher. Okay, respect for you? Listen to me. Listen to me. Respect for me.
Jeremy Piven's talking about turning himself in and taking the blame out of respect for Kyle Fisher, which is Jon Favreau's character's name. But there's no way that comes out clean. There's no way that they come out unscathed, and that everybody's going to go down for some form or fashion as accessories, whatever it may be. So now they got to try to talk this drunk asshole out of confessing. And there's a literal fist fight going on between Christian Slater and the wife, and she just karate kicked him in the face. She did a front leg round kick to his fucking face. Damn, she just tackled him through a window, too. I feel like he would have had a better go of it in that fight than that. Holy shit, he's a mess. He's sweating profusely from his face. Jeremy Piven, that is. He's leaning into Jon Favreau and whispering, mumbling nothings. Christian Slater has handled the wife, and now he's going to ask them to bring Jeremy Piven back.
The only thing is, you still got Michael there, right? Right?
Yeah?
Okay, great. She wants to see him in person.
So we're down to the three that are handling it the best, the three that don't seem to be cracking. At least that's what Boyd's trying to get it to. He got rid of the loose end and the wife, and now he wants to get rid of Jeremy Piven. And he feels comfortable with the three remaining being able to handle the secret. He's now lying to them, though. He didn't tell Jon Favreau that he killed the wife or that any of that went down. And he's had them bring Jeremy Piven back under the guise that she wants to talk to him when she's already dead. I can't stand babysitting people when they're that drunk. I have some rules if you're going to drink with me. One of them is puke goes where puke goes. Meaning, you're a fucking adult. You know if you're going to throw up. Get your ass outside. Get into the bathroom. Puking on floors and shit like that is totally unacceptable. You're 86 if you do that shit. Second rule is don't leave me to explain anything for you. I don't want to be put in a position where I have to lie to a cop on your behalf, or I have to talk to your parents, your wife, your girlfriend, none of that. I'm not explaining shit for you. That's my second rule. They just heard a gunshot while they're talking in the car, so he just shot Jeremy Piven. And he's going to come out, hop in the back of the car, and let him peep game. Make him hip to the facts. He's got these huge claw marks on his face like he just got in a fight with Wolverine. Sorry, I didn't get to my third rule. Third rule is if you're immobile, if you're unable to move yourself, you're staying where you are. I expect you to be able to manage this situation. If you're getting drunk around me. How are you going to explain that? So, I guess he set up a fake death scene in there. But now he's got all these defense wounds all over his face. You going to say that your girlfriend got rowdy?
Including all properties, cash holdings, security
we have $500,000 to help raise the kids.
No.
Yes.
No.
So, in the will,
Adam failed to make his last payments.
Jon Favreau was Daniel Stern's kid's godfather. So Jon Favreau was the godfather to Daniel Stern's children. The wife is now dead. So the one night only thing of the kids and the dog being over there, that is now a permanent situation. They are now the legal guardians of those children.
Three credit cards.
I want to hear this total.
And state taxes assessed on his IRA. Is your neighborhood of
14,220.
So there was a $500,000 life insurance policy, and after all the credit card debt, the minivan, all that shit, they're left with $14,000. And these two preteen boys, they look like they're maybe like 8 and 10 or something like that. Talk about instant family. No pun intended. Instant Family is a movie that's so hot right now. And these kids are fucking hellions. They're Tasmanian devils. Well, one of them's not. He's handicapped. He has to walk with crutches, but they're constantly picking at each other. They're like vultures. And this is finally, Jon Favreau's actually breaking down. All this shit's come down. And he now has to raise his friends' kids.
Michael killed her, ate dinner, and she bled.
And he's telling his fiance about it. And she's gonna get real on him, like Christian Slater did.
You fucked a prostitute?
She doesn't care that she's dead. She just cares that he fucked her.
Where is she? You left a dead prostitute and you
Didn't leave her alone. Why would you phrase it that way? We buried a dead body in the desert. Do you refer to... You left your grandpa alone in a cemetery? No, we buried him. That's what you do.
I don't want to hear any more of this, okay? I told you.
That's actually a smart decision on her part. If he tells her she's an accessory after the fact, she's not supposed to have any carnal knowledge, as it were. And she just says, shut the fuck up, we got a wedding. She's a psychopath too, though.
27 years.
Her and Boyd are perfect for each other.
Down that aisle, and I will not be derailed. I will not be embarrassed.
See, she's got her goal. She's omnifocused in a way, but on a different track. This wedding's gonna happen come hell or high water. We're now back. This was the opening shot of the film. They're at the wedding. They're tapping their legs out of control. You can just... It doesn't make sense when you first see it at the beginning, but now you're like, oh, God. And he didn't get the padded seats. A wedding is a stressful enough situation, right? Getting married. To then have all this other bullshit happen to you while you're preparing for it and have that weight on your mind, it's not resolved at all. So those things are coupled. You have to try to walk down the aisle and say your vows and ugh. They put these characters through the fucking ringer. But we're down to the 3, the rock solid 3.
Go get him.
And now Boyd makes a weird turn and turns into a cocksucker towards Jon Favreau, and he's going to ask him for money. So he is deeming himself a hitman after the fact, like he commits a few murders and now he gets to charge post work.
No. I'm the serious one.
He
I'm the serious one.
he wants to be paid blood money for cleaning this up for Jon Favreau.
My money. What money? Blood money. Insurance dollars. Which you have thus far somehow...
He thinks he should benefit from the insurance payment from Daniel Stern's death,
You can fuck me, fish. You can.
which they ended up getting 14 grand for.
Baby, that's up on floppy. You get me? I want that fucking money. Oh, God, I can take
Now you really get an element. Like, he is a total sociopath. He's willing to fuck over anybody. He's selfish as selfish gets.
I never go dark. Never go dark.
You need help.
What that fucking movement?
Now there's a fucking fight between Christian Slater and Jon Favreau. So it's just problem after problem. They keep compiling. Nothing goes smooth for this guy. And there's no... This doesn't have, if you were to just look at the plot on paper, you're like, what could the message be? What could it accomplish? It's just like a snapshot of what could happen to an example of a person or a group of friends. But I also kind of like to look at it, like I said before, as a microcosm of how karma can play out in real life. You don't see any real authority figures or outside forces influencing these guys along this path, but they all have their come to Jesus moment, and they all have their day of reckoning, and it's not as severe for all of them, but they all end up fucked up or dead afterwards. So it's I like to look at it as a commentary on how the universe always leaves a clean plate. You may get away with something, but it's only for so long. And things like that have a tendency of coming back and biting you in the ass. And the taller you are, the harder you fall. I was talking over, so Cameron Diaz comes up, and Jon Favreau and Christian Slater are fighting, and she actually bashes Christian Slater in the face with a fucking coat rack and knocks him out. They think he's dead, and now they're down there getting married. But he's not. He's not fucking dead. And it's not like a cheesy serial killer movie, Not Dead. It's like, okay, yeah, he's probably not dead. And this is going to create a scene that nobody wants to explain if he makes it down into that wedding beat to shit like this. They don't know it yet, but Christian Slater was the best man, and he has the fucking rings in his pocket. They left him there all bloody he fell down the stairs, and they left him there, and he has the rings. Hard to kill that motherfucker, though, right? Like, if you're going to war, you want him on your team. That's for sure. As long as he doesn't try to extort money from you. Start giving information to the other side. And this poor son of a bitch has to go down and get the rings out of Boyd's pocket. And you have a pretty good... So Boyd had made it to the top of the stairs, and as soon as the door gets open, it smacks him in the face and knocks him back down the stairs. And you get another tinge of that dark comedy moment because he reaches into the pocket and you get a jump scare and he screams and the whole fucking church hears it. And you can't help but chuckle a little bit. It's not taking itself too seriously. Oh. He's gonna have blood on his wrist. That guy handles his business. You send him to do a job, he makes sure he gets it done. So now we're just down to Jon Favreau, and I still don't know that motherfucker's name, but his friend with the glasses that he's known since the 3rd grade, that she wanted him to disown, is now his only friend left. Are women better at being fake like that than men? Or is it just certain personality types that are better at it? If I'm pissed off, I'm not very good at opening the door and going, hey guys, just 2 more seconds. I'm right to I said a fucking minute, okay? I don't have a lot of patience in that situation. So now they have the issue of Boyd's body that needs disposed of. And they've got to sew this up, and she's attached to it now. She's invested. They're married.
I don't care what you do.
She wants him to kill the dog. So she wants him to take Christian Slater out into the desert with his other friend and the dog, bury Christian Slater. Then she wants him to kill the friend and the dog and bury them in the desert too. It's the old phrase, two can keep a secret if one of them is dead. She's looking at it like, we can't have anybody out there. It's you and I who are legally one entity, and nobody else can know about this. Nobody is allowed to breathe a word about this. Anybody who has knowledge needs to go. So now he's got this dilemma. His wife has sent him out there on this fucking fool's errand to kill a dog and his best friend and bury his other friend. The paths you can go down in life. Something like this has to happen to somebody at least once, right? Throughout the entire course of history, somebody's had a situation similar to this at least once, right? You have to play the odds. I should know more about this movie. I don't know who directed it or wrote it, or what else they may have done. Respect, though. Just for the thrill ride aspect. It doesn't have a lot of commentary to offer on real life issues or political commentary, or it's none of that. But if you want twists and turns and a roller coaster ride, this is your movie. He's been contemplating this decision to kill his friend the entire time, while his friend is digging a grave. His friend's pontificating about what he wants to do in the future after this is all over. Jon Favreau raises... He's got a great mean face. He's got this angry pro wrestling face. They play the heartbeat in the background. His heartbeat's raising. And he lifts that motherfucker up baseball bat style like he's going to smack him in the head. And his friend slowly turns around and sees him. And you have this awkward stare down where he realizes what's going on. And now we're going to cut back to the car. And all three of them are going to be in it. The dog and both friends. He couldn't go through with it. Fuck his wife. He's not killing his best friend and a dog. I wonder how that conversation went. How'd you settle that situation down? I didn't mean it, man. How do you ever trust him after that? I didn't catch what he said. So one of the drawbacks of the commentaries is I can't quite have it loud enough for me to hear over my own talking. And if I have it too loud, I'm for sure going to get taken down for copyright for an audio match.
When the big storm comes and it knocks down all the forests and all the rocks fall down and all the leaves are bare.
Now we're going back to the speech by Daniel Stern about the little trees being left after the big storm. He's reminiscing about that moment, which is kind of their final real moment before. Oh, see, and then another turn. They get in a car accident on their way back from burying the bodies. So that's their penance. Nobody, like I said, nobody got out of this unscathed. And if you look at the situation, they definitely weren't as guilty as Jeremy Piven or Boyd. Daniel Stern really didn't do anything wrong in comparison. He didn't commit the actual murder. He was just kind of an accomplice. So it's fitting that these guys didn't die in that car accident, but rather are paralyzed. Which, that might be worse. I don't know. I've never been inside the mind of a paralyzed person, and I hope to never be paralyzed. But would you rather be dead? I don't know. Probably not. You can still do a lot of things. The guy back there steering with his straw, though, fuck that noise. What kind of a life? And she did not get what she signed up for, but she is in effect getting what she deserves. That karma. She's a total bitch, needy, controlling over everything, and now she's in a situation she can't control at all. And none of them can help her. He's an amputee in a wheelchair. The other guy's a quadriplegic that can't even... He has to use his mouth to steer his wheelchair. The dog has 3 legs. One of the kids has spina bifida. Or scoliosis. And then the other kid is a total asshole. And she's just having a mental breakdown. Those poor kids, they didn't deserve any of this, but these 3 adults are all in their own personal hell right now. But it's got this weird upbeat music and score and feel to it most of the time. That's why I refer to it as kind of a dark comedy, because it's sinister in elements and violent, but it also is kind of slapstick and doesn't take itself seriously. She's laying in the middle of the road screaming in her Ugg boots and bathrobe. She thought she was going to be some upper class housewife, and now she's just scrubbing, cooking, cleaning all day, caring for a house full of handicapped people and then an additional kid. Written and directed by Peter Berg. Well, there you go. Peter Berg, excellent. The writing, the casting, the execution, fucking love it all. The twists and turns, the mess that's created, no clean solution, no hero, nobody's the hero. That's another thing I like. I like shows and movies where nobody's the hero, like in The Wire. Nobody's the hero. They're imperfect. They're people. Sometimes these guys do things wrong. Sometimes these guys do things wrong. Sometimes you identify and can justify the behaviors of some and not others, and vice versa. It's all good. So that's going to culminate the commentary for, excuse me, for Very Bad Things from 1998, starring Jon Favreau and Christian Slater. I hope you enjoyed. It's one of those I feel like you really need to watch along. It might have got a bit dreary or tiresome with me constantly identifying the characters I'm talking about. I just didn't want to do... I feel like I've been guilty in the past of doing a lot of he, she, they, and not actually identifying, using a proper noun, who I'm talking about. And when you're only listening to the audio and trying to build a picture in your mind, it's really necessary for you to know which character I'm referring to. Nonetheless, appreciate the fuck out of you guys. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that shit. If you're listening to just the podcast, you can check me out on YouTube also, and there's movie reviews there, videos. That's Avarice Trading Channel. Or you can go to my Instagram at Avarice Trading. There's a link tree in my bio, and you can find links to all my shit there. Until the next time, this is Devin saying I appreciate the fuck out of you guys still. And until the next time, I'm signing off and saying be easy.